Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds, and we're back to tier list, baby.
It's a tier list of the most popular commanders.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds, bringing you more daily content. If you want to support the channel, the best way right now is our ongoing Kickstarter, which is funded, but we're looking to get even more funding for even cooler gameplay.
Yes, head over to tcgplayer.com if you want to support us in a different way. Buy the cards you were going to buy anyway. Who are you kidding? Everyone knows you were going to buy Magic cards. You buy those cards through TCG Player using the link in the description below. Guess what? Free roll, you're supporting the nerds.
All right, what are we doing right now?
Well, we're talking about the 30 most popular commanders, and we're putting them on a tier list, a definitive tier list that cannot be argued with because guess what? We are bringing out our official YouTube content creator cards that says we get to say exactly what is true about Commander.
Yeah, this is, it's not like our Ranking Every Commander series. It's just going to be, how do we feel about the decks personally? Just our opinion. The Ranking Every Commander series, almost all of these were up pretty high because we tried to be as objective as possible. This isn't that.
No, not at all. We're going to just be giving our opinions on the cards, on the decks, overall. And guess what? We're going to use whatever criteria we want because this is a tier list where we have fun.
Oh, but we almost forgot. We got to make ourselves smaller so you can see the tier list.
Well, you got to bring in the computer.
Oh yeah, let me
classic move.
Let me get that.
Yeah, we need that over here so that we can actually do the tier list. And now.
Oh, here it is. Now I see it.
Yeah, now it's here. This is our tier list, and we're going to just start with the first one. Who is the first one, BZ?
It's Alila, Artful Provocateur.
Now,
I was surprised this is even one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, I think it's because, well, there's a couple things. One, they absolutely push the crap out of every single one of those Brawl commanders. And two, I think there's just a lot of ways to build this. You can be Artifacts Matter, Flyers Matter, or Enchantments Matter. So you can just make
Fairies.
Or Fairies. You can just make some combination of those, whichever one you want, and that gets to be your deck. I think that's why it's so high. What do you think of this card?
So I have no problems with Alila. We hate on some of the other Brawl commanders who, spoiler alert, they're all on here. Mm-hmm. This one I think was done well, so I'd probably just stick it in like B tier. It doesn't really want you to do anything specific.
See, I would put it in A tier. I think
okay.
I think this card's really awesome.
That's fair. It's not for me personally, but it is just a good design.
I think it's a really good design, and it wants you to do a lot of different things. And there's not just a linear path for building this, and it's not overpowered. I mean, the 1/1 flyers are strong, and they're going to be 2/1 flyers when you have Alila out, which is all strong stuff, but it's nothing busted. And the deck just can be built in so many ways. I think this is just a cool commander.
All right, well, next up is Arcades. These are in alphabetical order, not popularity order.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that'd be funnier to just randomize them that way. So the Arcades is next. He's just Defenders Matter. It's kind of like all your defenders cantrip. All you're doing is playing defenders. I think this plays out worse than less interestingly than it looks.
Yes, I think that there's like a core 30 to 40 cards that every single Arcades deck has to play, and that you're forced into building this linear design deck. And if your commander dies, your deck just doesn't do a lot because your walls no longer cantrip, making them just bad walls.
They can't attack.
And I don't know. I'm on the same page as you. I still have it like a C.
Yeah.
I think it's an okay commander, and it's kind of cool, but I think it just plays way more linear and boring than what you would expect.
Right. You have so much less spots for innovation, and you're right. I mean, like, how do you want to win? Hopefully it's with attacks, because that's the entire point of having defenders that can attack is now I win with attacks, and I hit you with my big butt creatures. If it's a combo, you don't even need to be an Arcades deck. The combo probably exists outside. And then if it's not a combo and you have to attack to win, like we just said, they're just going to kill Arcades 5 times, and then what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. Just Arcades just feels like he looks, on paper, he reads like an amazingly cool and unique commander. I think he plays out a lot worse than that and a lot less fun than that.
Maybe it's not his fault, it's the deck's fault.
Yeah.
All right, Atraxa, just the most overhyped commander ever, I think.
Yeah, Atraxa is really cool. Nice 4-color commander. The art is amazing. Things like
so
that.
Good.
Yeah, like it looks really cool. The problem is that she is a really good body. Like the cost you get and everything you get for the mana is good. The effect is kind of minimal. Proliferate. It's just not as good as you always think it's going to be.
Right. It ties it all together. It ties the room together. I'm glad it's not ridiculous. Like it doesn't say whenever you take a game action, proliferate. But it's not. I think I'm glad with where the power settled on this, but I think separately from this tier list, people are like too high on it. They're like, oh, Atraxa decks, those are unbeatable. It's like, not really.
Yeah, it's funny because like it seems like it would just she doesn't actually do that much for your Planeswalker deck. That's like one of her main builds.
Yeah.
The proliferate at the end of the turn is minor. It's so minor. And yes, she protects Planeswalkers okay. She's not this insane commander that people want her to be. I don't know. I got her in like B.
Yeah.
I think she's cool. I think she's pretty good. And I do like the versatility of her builds. Any type of counter that you can proliferate, well, there you go. Then you can do infect, you can do +1 counters, you can do Planeswalkers, and there's a lot of other ways to go. You can do useless counters.
So Atraxa, cool design. Totally fair, I think, as a separate PSA. She's actually not as scary as people think she is.
Yeah, agreed. Next is Brea. While Brea is another one of the 4-color commanders from the same exact commander set as Atraxa. Also a pretty cool design. Has some infinite combos. Again, I kind of just fall into this category of like, what do you do with this? Where is this pushing you? Yeah, artifacts. But then what? What's the goal besides maybe comboing?
Yeah, these commanders, I look at them and I just kind of, it doesn't push me enough to something in particular, and then I'm kind of just like, well, all artifacts in almost every color in Magic. That's why I have so much trouble building these like 5-color commanders, because I just can't. They don't tell you to like pick a lane. It's not, play legendary artifacts that tap for mana or something. And this is just like, you get artifacts and you can sacrifice them. What do you want to do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what's cool about another card that we'll talk about later, Captain Sisay, where like she's 5 colors, but she pushes you in a very distinct direction. Brea just doesn't do that. Yeah, artifacts. That's broad. That is so broad. There's so many different things you can do with artifacts. Again, I just have her B. It's the same. It just feels like it fits right with Atraxa. Same category. Good commanders. Everyone we've talked about is a cool and good commander.
No problems.
No problems. Well, they do have problems. They'll also be S tier.
Yeah, they're cool. They don't really give me any huge red flags, unlike the next commander, which we hate on all the time for fun. It's Chulane.
I'm going to continue to hate on this card forever. I think this is one of the worst designed commanders they've ever made, and I'm not even exaggerating. When somebody plays a Chulane deck, I groan because
what is this?
Well, what'd you say?
What is this card?
This is the payoff stapled to the enabler. Exactly.
Ugh.
And those end up, and like those are inherently problems because Alayla is the payoff stapled to enabler in a fair way, not Chulane. This card does way too much. It goes off so easily. If you don't kill Chulane every single time, this deck will snowball into a victory very, very fast.
Yeah, I don't know what this card is. Just like an amalgamation of annoying abilities. The growth spiral, pick a lane. Pick maybe like one or the other, but both. And the land entering untapped is just like, that's obscene. That's too far pushed. And what's the other thing? He can just bounce himself? What?
Yeah, he
just protects himself? Like, kind of. It's slow and clunky, but it still avoids commander attacks and makes people not want to target him. And if they don't target him, you just bounce something else, even if you really want to.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Chulane at all. I honestly do not like this card as a design. Feel like it was a huge mistake. And the problem is that even when you build a Chulane deck to be fun and not go off, maybe make the CMC like, hey, my average CMC is like 3.5. It's a little clunky. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. He makes up for that. Oh, your CMC is 3.5. Doesn't matter. Oh, you have 20 lands in play. You can play 4 spells a turn still.
Yeah.
Even with that high CMC, this card's way too. This card is just too. It's too good and it's too annoying for
really
commander
good.
all the time.
It's a really good card. I have no like. You can play it if you want, but as far as we're concerned, he's gonna go right into the poop.
Yeah, let's just put that in right here. You can play whatever one of these commanders you want. Just because we don't like a design or we don't like a card doesn't mean that one, it's not fun. Doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it. It just means, in our opinion, we don't enjoy it and we don't think it's fun.
It doesn't even mean that I won't play against it.
And now we'll get back to our definitive tier list that is 100% correct that you cannot argue.
Yes, Edgar, Markov, another one of the worst keywords ever made. This one is Eminence, which says, forget the whole casting your commander thing. He's better if you just don't.
Something good about I like Edgar the most out of Eminence commanders because he has a good upside for actually playing him.
Yes.
He's very, very good, though. And one of the troubles that comes in here is that you just build so much advantage so quickly, and it's tough to beat. But in a game of Commander with 4 players that is not 1v1, he is much more fair. Board wipes do set this deck behind a ton. So, but they can be built fast, obviously, because they just have Edgar. I don't hate this card.
No.
I know this is a very hated commander. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it too, obviously, because it's in the top 30 most played commanders. Where do you got it?
Here's the biggest problem with Edgar. It's actually not. I don't think it's a power problem, despite Eminence being a mistake and they shouldn't have made it. It's not that it's too good. It's too different. It's too wrong for the format. But Edgar himself, the actual problem is if you say I want to build a vampires deck, you now have to tell me. You have to justify why you're not playing Edgar Markov. Like if you're going for power, you're just playing Edgar Markov.
Yeah, people end up building vampire decks to do other things because they don't want to build Edgar Markov because he's such.
He's a reason not to play him.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd say he's like a C.
Bottom of C.
Yeah, I got him. I put him above Arcades. I think he's a cooler design and
maybe I don't know. Pretty egregious on the Eminence. Just that exists at all.
Yeah, I agree. Eminence is a huge mistake, but Edgar's cool, and I like him as a card.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's just in this middle ground where it's just like, yeah, he's there. I'll never build him. I'm not interested.
Here's a cool design. It's Feather the Redeemed. She wants you to play a bunch of combat tricks and protection spells. This is like its own way out in left field, unique little EDH deck. Some people said it like fixed Boros. Not even close. That's not how making a new deck with a new archetype works. But I think this card's really cool. I would put it in like B. There's not much to say.
Oh, I am way different on this card than you are.
Are you lower?
No, I'm higher. I think Feather is a great design. This is the kind of design we need for Commander. It's something completely out of left field. It doesn't do anything else. So Boros Commander does. It's unique. It is its own deck. This deck probably plays between 10 and 20 cards that you're not going to see in other Commander decks, and that's a good design. That's how you know something is cool. I would just give this S. I really think Feather is just the kind of design I want to see on Commanders all the time.
You sold me. Gishath, they brought back dinosaurs, and they gave us an okay dinosaur commander. I don't like that this has to hit. It's so expensive, but it's the ultimate, it's like such a Timmy card. I kind of have to be okay with it.
Yeah, Gishath's cool. I don't really have any problems with it, but I'm not super hype on it. I probably just have it at the bottom of B tier.
Bottom of B tier?
Because it doesn't have any of the egregious stuff like you do with Edgar Markov. It's a very fair card. What is it, 6 mana?
It's 8 mana.
It's 8 mana. It's super expensive, but it does do powerful things when it actually connects.
Yeah, so we'll just give it, that's the fairest card. It's never offended anyone.
Yeah.
Golos. Now, are we counting Historic Brawl, or are we just counting Commander?
We're just counting Commander.
Okay, because if this was Historic Brawl, we'd have to make a new low tier.
This is poop tier either way. I think Golos is a fine design. He's not that bad of a design, but there's nowhere to go with this deck. The play is exactly the same. Do a little bit of ramping early. Play Golos on turn 3, 4, 5, whatever your ramp allows. Mm-hmm. Next turn, just start activating Golos. And you just cheat out some awesome cards and you win. Card's really, really strong. I just don't think there's anywhere to go with this card personally. What do you think?
I think the games, it depends on how your deck's constructed, but if you're a Lands Matter deck or you have one favorite land in particular, the games get really samey. And it's just not so much fun for the other people at the table. We were talking about before, and we forgot to mention this, Mono Black Devotion deck, helmed by Golos. Half the reason to do that is to go get stupid Cabal coffers every single game, guaranteed. You don't got to play any tutors or anything. You just have Golos as your commander to play that janky Mono Black thing. And that takes that deck from being, whoa, Mono Black Devotion with 5 colors, that's really cool, to now all of a sudden, ugh.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think Golos is a cool card.
Yeah.
It's another one of those 5-color commanders that doesn't push you anywhere. It doesn't have to be anything or want to do anything. It's just generically very, very strong, and I don't think it makes for a fun or unique commander.
Yeah, he kind of is also soul bonded with Field of the Dead forever. And that's the main issue with Historic Brawl, I think. It's just that Field of the Dead exists in that format for some reason.
Historic Brawl is miserable.
It's okay. I've had a little bit of fun with it.
There's no doubt. I think that you can make any format of Magic, and it'll be fun, at least in some extent. The problem with Historic Brawl, and this is just going to be a quick one-off here, is that
we'll see.
It is a 1v1 format, and it is so far removed from what Commander actually is. I think it's insane. I understand that they are purposely calling it Brawl and not Commander, because they don't even want people to think they're related. But to me, it feels too related. Hate it.
Can we not do multiplayer on there?
Not yet. I understand it's not like this is easy. It's not like, oh yeah, multiplayer is so easy to program. No, it's probably hard, but it's still frustrating. I would like it.
All right. Let's move on to Gwyn, Sir Gwyn, the equipment commander from Eldraine that cares about knights and equipment and all that stuff. another thing that I'm happy to see. It's right up there with Alila. I think it's really good.
Yes, a great design again. I think Gwyn was absolutely... Gwyn and Alila hit home runs. They are the payoff and the enabler stapled together, but they're not busted. They're not doing anything crazy. Gwyn is cheating all the equip costs. That is strong. Yeah. Definitely strong. Not broken, though. I have this in A with Alila. I don't know. There's not really anything crazy to say about it. This is a well-designed card. A very, very well-designed card.
Fun to play against. Next is Kaalia of the Vast Classic Commander. This is another Atraxa level like Boogeyman, where people were a little taken aback and confused by it and scared of it. It's okay. If you kill it, it's harmless. I'm
so low on this card. I think the issue with it for me is the games have this linear path.
Very swingy.
It's either Kaalia attacks and the player with Kaalia becomes a huge target until it's removed, or Kaalia doesn't attack the whole game and the Kaalia player doesn't play that much.
Yeah.
Because all of their threats cost 8 mana.
If you want to take that gambit, more power to you, but I think we're going to put it in like D tier.
Yeah, I am on the same page. And I don't think... Now, I'm not saying this card is just like the worst card, you should never play it, or that its power is too low. I don't like the fact that the way it plays out is, like I said, it's you either come out swinging and out of the gates hard, or you just don't do very much and you cast like 1 or 2 demons a turn because Kaalia's not sticking on the field.
Exactly. Kalamax from the C20, the Korea commanders. Yep. This one's got some infinite combos. It's a really weird deck. It cares about copying instants. I like this design.
Yeah,
I like playing against this card. I like playing with this card.
Yeah, I'm on your side with that one. I think Kalamax is a sweet design. It's really cool.
It's like beat.
I think one of the things that really takes this card from being boring or like a poor design at all is that he has to be tapped.
Yeah.
Now he adds this extra hoop to like you have to make the deck actually function. It's if he just did his ability all the time, it'd be really, really good and probably a little too good, but you have to tap him. Now there's a little hoop to jump through. It adds a little more to the game.
Do I want to attack? Do I want to crew vehicles? Do I want to use like Springleaf Drum? There's so many ways to go. Do you want to stick him in B, like right between these two?
I would have him above Atraxa and Brea.
All right, I'm down for that. Kenrith, the Returned King, another good stuff commander that says you can pretty much do whatever. Training Grounds and Zerda and Biomancer's Familiar go in your deck. It's a little vanilla for me, as in people build Kenrith decks and it's like, okay, what are we doing? What's the theme? I mean, you don't have to have a theme. I would prefer you to have a theme, I guess, if I got to make every deck.
Yeah, Kenrith falls in the same category exactly as Golos. And I understand why these commanders are popular.
Yeah.
People like playing every color, and they like having a commander that gives them something powerful. Nothing wrong with that. That being said, I don't like this design. I think it is boring. You just throw it in your command zone, and you can build it a bunch of different ways, sure. But ultimately, it's just a good stuff commander that does whatever you want it to do.
I think a lot of people are sick of seeing these, just in general. Like it's just, I don't know. It's really hard to articulate why it's blech.
Yeah, exactly. I put it in poop tier directly next to Golos. It's the same.
Let's put them below Golos and above Chulane. It's going to be hard to beat out Chulane.
To be fair, I think that Golos and Kenrith are basically on top of each other.
Yeah, they're really close.
Pretty much the exact same card in my head.
Yeah, they're really close. Kess, Dissident Mage, I think that's her name, is next. She's the Carador for instant or sorceries. I love it. I think I'm so glad this card has no other text on it, because I'm sure it was very tempting to put like, when she enters the battlefield, entomb an instant or sorcery. It's like, well, no, let's just make the payoff. Let's find your own enabler.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think Kess is a very cool design, a very awesome card, and yeah, I'm happy to have this card in existence.
Hey?
Makes for I agree. It is an A. It just makes for cool designs. I mean, some of the decks might be boring, but again, it just says play instant sorceries. Okay, there's tons of instant sorceries. The tough thing about balancing the instant sorcery deck is you got to play some of the payoffs, creatures, the enchantments. You got to figure out which ones are the best and where to put them in. Kess, good design.
Yeah, I think unlike Brea, where you're kind of not sure where to go, she doesn't just say instant or sorceries. She says you have to cast them from your graveyard once per turn. So now there's like subtext of, okay, well, how am I going to get them there? How am I going to fill my graveyard to get more of a toolbox effect? And then you're already off on the races. Korvold, he's going to give Chulane a run for his money, I think, in poop tier. This is the enabler plus payoff plus this card is just pushed to the moon. I find it, I think Korvold's really good, and any temptation I have to build it is just immediately withdrawn because it's so easy to me. Like, it's just, this deck is insane, and it just goes off.
Yeah, this deck is so easy to win with. Korvold is insanely strong. I don't have him as much in poop tier. I have him in D tier.
Oh, really?
At least the sacrifice thing is at least cool, and there's stuff to do with it. Yeah, maybe it is just poop tier. The problem,
I think he's as good as Chulane. He might be better.
He just is, again, the payoff staple enabler leads to these really boring designs when they're way too good. He sacrifices something every single turn, and he draws for sacrifice.
It's all just static. There's no mana.
Yeah, exactly. You don't put any extra mana into this guy. He's insane. I mean,
I'm going to just plop him right there.
Sure, that's fair. That is completely fair to throw him in there, but I don't know. Again, it's just
he's not even like
exciting.
He's not even that miserable to play against, but yeah, it's like police Korvold or die.
Well,
there's just this subtext in the game, or the sub game you play, of police Korvold or die.
One of the main issues about him is it's just so easy to sacrifice stuff. Sometimes you can just treasures.
Yeah.
If you make 5 treasures, oh my god, you draw 5 cards to make 5 mana. Okay, that's bonkers.
And he gets 5 counters.
Obviously, so he can just also one-shot somebody while you're just winning the game in other ways.
Totally. All right, this is the only monocolor commander on here at all, which I thought was interesting. It's Krenko Mob Boss. This is your Goblin Fanatic deck. I think not the card Goblin Fanatic. I think that's a card. Your Goblin fans built this deck, and it's so popular. It's literally one of the top 30.
Yeah, Goblins is one of the most popular creature types in all of Magic, period. Krenko is really cool. He lets you go wide. My one issue with Krenko is he's kind of linear. You just kind of make 1 million goblins, and that's it. That's the end of the story. Now, is that inherently bad? No, not at all. But it is a very linear deck. I would have him around the top of C tier, maybe bottom of B tier.
I like above. Oh, let's put him below Gishath then.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with the Krenko deck. Solid. It's one of those cards in the era. I would almost argue the sweet spot era, where right before they started pushing stuff for Commander every single set, but there was still really cool legends.
Yeah, I have no problem with Krenko other than he's a little linear.
Next up is Kykar Wind's Fury. This is a really good one. This is a really good card. Make spirits, sack spirits for mana. I think there's a couple ways to go infinite with it. I don't really have too much of a problem with this one, even though it is a little bit of the enabler plus payoff.
Yeah, Kykar is just a card I don't care about, I guess. It doesn't interest me from any perspective in any way. It's fine. It's definitely strong. It definitely does the thing you want it to do, and it does put you in some sort of direction. I'm going to let you grade this one, because when I say I don't care, it's not I don't have an opinion of I hate it or like it. It's just
apathy.
It exists.
If that's the case, it's going to go right there.
Yeah, this card definitely exists. That's my opinion on it.
Right. No qualms about it. Oh, Marchesa. Queen Marchesa, excellent taste for those people building Queen Marchesa decks. This is one of the most fun commanders ever, I think.
Yeah, I think Marchesa is an incredibly cool card. It doesn't push you in any direction, but it lets you go and make a ton of different decks. But you definitely want to play to the strengths of the deck, which is the monarchy. So you're going to want at least a decent creature count to continually get back the monarchy, make political deals, do stuff like that. I agree with BZ. I think Marchesa is just A+ design. She's awesome.
Easy S.
Easy S tier. I do want to say one thing about the monarchy before we move on. It is one of the best commander mechanics ever made. It is awful for limited 1v1. It actively has ruined just one-on-one matchups that I've played over and over and over again. Never ever put monarchy into a limited 1v1 format ever again, Wizards.
Is that for Wizards? It's ruined Pauper multiple times now.
It's miserable. It's miserable for any one-on-one format. Legacy can overcome it. Because Legacy is such a degenerate format, it cannot be overcome in a limited environment.
Right. But in Commander, it's literally the best. It's top 5 Commander mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone saying they're being super negative in this video, we just called out one of the best mechanics ever.
Also, look at our tier list. It's top heavy. Yeah, you could say we're being a little negative because we are pooping on some of these.
Yeah, we're giving them the just desserts.
Well, yeah, we're giving them the just desserts like BZ said, but this is top heavy. We're definitely throwing them up top because these are the most popular and for good reasons mostly.
Yes, Meren of Clan Toth is next, and I thought experience counters were pretty neat. I actually don't have a problem with those, and I like that you can proliferate them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with experience counters. I have a problem with Meren though.
Oh, you think she's a little too good?
I just think she's so generically strong. Is she cool? Is it a good design? Maybe. But at the end of the day, all that ends up happening is that you can't beat Meren at all if the game just keeps playing. I don't mean keeps playing as in they're doing all their good stuff. No, they're just playing the game.
Yeah, so we had to cut this card from our cube recently because it was just too good. I mean, I love this card, and it fits exactly with the green-black theme. But the problem is, Meren doesn't give you the same feeling of like ramping up to something like Daxos and Azuri and
Carador.
Mizzix do, where it's like, okay, now your spells cost less and you get bigger creatures and you get more counters. This is just like, do you have 0 experience counters? All right, raise it every single turn.
Yeah, exactly. It still does something. That's the. I think that really is the issue. You don't have to build up, and then she's already doing something at 0. You play her, and she's already doing something that's already insane. And then you add on the fact that and it feels like there's a cap to her experience counters. Like once you hit
10, there's nothing else you could possibly get.
You hit 10, it doesn't matter. Okay, she's basically there's middle ground. There's the 0, which is just the raise dead. Yeah. And then there's like the cap where it's like, well, now I'm over my top creature in my deck, therefore I can just get whatever I want back for free.
Yeah, I don't know. Really weird that the smaller and the bigger numbers don't matter, and then that's not true with all the other experience counters. So just a little bit of a weird design with Meren. She's a little...
C?
You kind of have to police her. So we'll stick her...
Not a negativity for a C.
Yeah, right here. Well, not a ton of negativity. She's a really cool card. I like experience counters. Morophon the Boundless, a.k.a. the home for all of your janky, super fun tribal needs.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't think I have any problems with Morophon.
No, I love this card.
I don't think it's like an insanely cool design or anything, but I think it's perfect for filling that gap of like, hey, I need a werewolf commander because we don't have one yet.
Now here's how you do a 5-color commander. This is so specific. Pick a tribe, build that tribe. You have every color of Magic. You can pick all the greatest, best parts of that tribe, and then they're going to cost less, and you can pull some stuff off that way.
Absolutely. I think this one just falls in the B tier because it's ultimately it's only tribal. You have to do it's tribal. I've heard tribal.
Tribal. You could do that too.
Yeah. So Morophon's fine. I have no issues with him. B perfect grade for him.
I think the tribal deck's really neat because you get to pick the best lords ever printed, and all your stuff gets that. Like I'm never going to play Illusion Tribal, but that Illusion Lord that gives hexproof, that card's amazing.
Yeah, it is. What's next?
That's Muldrotha, the Gravetide. This is a really good commander. It's got some Kess Carador vibes to it for sure. A few combos, but it's a 6-mana 6/6 that doesn't do anything unless you build around it, and I think that's great. I think that balances out the fact that it's a really good card.
Yeah, exactly. This card is insane, and the value that's gotten from it is insane. Balanced out by being a 6-mana 6/6. I agree completely. You need to build around this card a lot, and you have to play it late in the game. And when you play it, you have to hope it doesn't die or get countered because it's going to put you way behind. Super fair card. I'd say I have it in A tier.
Hey, yeah. This is
great design.
What did I just do?
Well, nothing's wrong. Don't worry. Perfectly. Yep. No issues right now at all.
No technical difficulties.
Put that one in A.
Just going to go right in A. I like that card a lot. Niv-Mizzet Perun. I really like this card, except I wish there was some alternate universe where Curiosity and Ophidian Eye and Tandem Lookout didn't exist. Because I want to play this, but I don't want to have to be policed or have this that's the same subgame as kind of Korvold and Chulane of like, kill Niv-Mizzet or you're dead.
Yeah, I'm on your side. The problem is that those cards do exist, and they can't not exist because that's part of Commander. Yeah, you cannot put them in your deck, but does that mean everyone's going to believe you when you say they're not in your deck? No.
That is one, here's a random upside of Historic Brawl. You can play a Niv-Mizzet deck, and it's really cool. And you can just go, I'm going to dominate you. If you let me untap with this Niv-Mizzet, it's going to be sweet. I think I'll probably stick in, bottom of C?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. If those cards just make this card just need to be stopped. He has to be stopped. He's so good.
Yep. Unfortunate, because I like the design a lot.
What's next?
It's Omnath, Locus of Creation. This one, I'm not a big fan of playing against this one.
Really? Okay, so explain.
He just makes a turd load of mana. Maybe it's just they're always ramping, so they can always pay commander tax. And Omnath is going to ramp even further. He kind of just pays himself back if you have a fetch land, which of course you do.
And of course he puts lands. He draws when he enters the battlefield too for no reason.
Yeah.
This card does have a lot of text on it. I have fun playing the deck, but I can't speak for the other side of the table. I would put him in probably B tier, but
no, I think
I'm biased.
I don't even think I have it much lower than that. I would put it here.
Okay.
I just think it's a little annoying, but nowhere near that bad.
Yeah, this card is horrible.
Not as bad as Chulane.
It's horribly annoying in tons of other formats, but not this one. He's fair in Commander.
He's okay. He's tolerable, maybe. Sisay, Weatherlight Captain, another amazing 5-color design. I love this card.
I think this card is very well designed, and it's super cool. I just have it in A or S. Where do you have it?
I'm fine with bottom of S. This is just a great 5-color design. Legendary creatures, toolbox. Go find them. We tried our best to set up some infinite combo back when we made this video, and then we made a mistake, so it didn't work.
We made a mistake, so it didn't work, but it was still doable. You had to add another piece to it.
It didn't work as posted.
It didn't work
like one extra card.
Yeah, you had to add one extra card to it. Yeah, so I think Sisay up in S tier. It is Legends Matter, and it is a little bit linear, but you can. There's a lot of Legends in this format, so yeah, I think.
Pick your favorite. Mm-hmm. Pick your favorite Legends. Next is Teysa Karlov. She gives you tokens like Vigilance and Lifelink, and then Death Harmonicon triggers, so she doubles your dying triggers. Another good, rock-solid build-around design.
Yeah, she's very strong. This card is very good, but it's not busted by any means, and you don't even necessarily have to build the token route. You can just kind of build her other side, which is her death triggers, which is something to go with. I think this card is great. I got it up in A tier probably.
I think it's a solid A tier. She's just the payoff. She's like, make tokens. I'm done. I'm out of here. And then you go, oh, cool. I want to find a way to make tokens.
No, or make tokens, death triggers. I mean,
Blood Artist.
Yeah, she does a lot of things, and she's not super linear, but yeah, I think she's one of the best aristocratic commanders for black-white.
Solid, little unique design. The Ur-Dragon, really cool card. Even though it has Eminence, I think it kind of undoes the handicap you give yourself by just playing dragons anyway.
Yeah.
This one is my favorite Eminence one.
Yeah, what do you have it at? Where do you
I don't
think
know. This card is so cool. It's epic. It's big. It cheats out dragons. 5-color dragons is such a neat deck. I would put this in S or A. Well, what are you thinking? Just let you pick between S or A.
I would probably put it in A. I think it's a cool card too.
Where are we at?
Middle? Yeah, more in the middle.
Stick it right in the middle.
Yeah, I think the Ur-Dragon's a very cool design. You end up playing a ton of big, huge, splashy dragons. The deck is super slow. You have to deal with that as a fact because that's what dragons are. The best dragons are the big, stupid ones. So you're obviously going to have a slight... like BZ said, a handicap. You give yourself a handicap because dragons cost 4 billion mana.
This deck is awesome. I'm not going to be mad if you smash me with like seven mana dragons. That's amazing. That's so cool.
I'll kill them all. My board wipe.
All right, Lord Windgrace. This card's really good. It's a landfall commander. I think it kind of secretly asks you to play Yakuhops a bunch.
Yeah, but I don't really have a problem with this card at all. I think that Windgrace is just a very good commander card. Very good commander itself. I got it in B tier. It's not like this crazy design. It's not perfect or anything. And I think one of his weaknesses is he's a planeswalker that doesn't protect himself very well.
Totally, yeah. I mean, you can attack my commander and kill it. That's not a plus side.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a downside. So yeah, I like Lord Windgrace a lot. I think he's really cool. B tier is probably perfect for him. He wants you to play Jund lands, which is just
finally a landfall commander, right? We barely get any of those.
Yeah, there's not a ton of those all over.
I mean, there's like 0 in Jund.
I was gonna say this might be the only Jund one. Yeah,
because every Jund commander is Jund Sacrifice.
But they're not even just Jund Sacrifice. It's like Jund random stuff. They don't know what Jund doesn't know what it wants to do in Commander.
Jund is very confused. Yarok the Desecrated, Sultai. This is double your ETBs. This is literally a Panharmonicon effect for all your permanents. This is a fun one. The card doesn't do anything except that. It's got a nice little body, Death Touch Lifelink, and it says go crazy. Play Scrylands, play Field of the Dead, play Diluvian Primordial. I don't know. Go crazy. Pick whatever you want.
Yeah, card's it's very cool. I think I love the Panharmonicon in our command zone. His weakness, and I think that something about these cards is when they actually have weaknesses, it tends to make them more fun designs. As you might see, the cards without weaknesses are just chilling at the bottom.
They're hanging out.
Except for Kaalia. Kaalia has weaknesses brought her to the bottom. But the cards that have weaknesses tend to go without weaknesses, go to the bottom because they're poor design. Yarok's weakness, he's 5 mana, do nothing, and then untap with him, and he's insane. But that's good. That's what we want to see. We want to
tension.
See. There's these cards it doesn't just run away with the game and you win if you untap with it. No, you get a ton of sweet value. And that's a much better design.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I could play it now or not. And it's not just slam it every single time blindly. It's just a really, really nice one. Yarok's going to go B tier above Windgrace.
I'm fine with that. I definitely like B tier for Yarok. Great design.
B tier is the place to be right now. Yuriko. They definitely missed a little bit with this one. I love the card, and I think the deck plays really cool. The one thing they should have just not done or worked around is added commander tax to the ninjutsu ability.
Yeah, the ninjutsu ability does not have commander tax. This is always 2 mana.
Always a threat. Always going to hit you. It's really frustrating after a while.
Yeah, I think this is just D. This card, as much as the deck might be cool, and as much as ninjas themselves are cool, Yuriko not having any commander tax, always coming down on turn 2 because the deck is designed to just play a 1-drop. The fact that there's so many ways to easily make her unblockable, this card just runs away with games super fast. It can often just lead to wins on like turn 5 without even like any insane. You could do no ramping and just win on turn 5 because of how Yuriko plays.
Yeah, the big thing that you do is time walk.
Yeah.
You just keep taking extra turns and then hitting them and revealing 9 drops, and that deals damage to each opponent. I think this deck it would play out perfectly. It would be the perfect speed and power level that I'm looking to play against if she got taxed for her ninjutsu. And I wonder if you could even do that as a house rule. I might be totally okay with that.
You also might want another thing about her that maybe if her ninjutsu just costs a little more. Maybe instead of aggressively accosting her to be like this thing that comes out in turn 2, make it a 4-mana ninjutsu. Make her like a 3/4. Give her higher stats.
Make her a little chunkier. Do the Muldrotha.
Exactly. Okay, always 4 mana is a lot more than always 2 mana. The card is just there's a couple of design mistakes that keep it down in D.
Right. All right. Zaxara the Exemplary. This is just like I look at this art and I go, what is happening? I have no idea. I saw this card and I saw it spoiled and I just knew it wasn't for me. So I have difficulty commentating. I just have no interest in Hydras. I never got it.
Oh, I think this card is really cool. It's the X-Spell guy, and I think it pushes you in a direction. Yeah. It's absolutely not busted. You have to untap with it to start really doing anything with it. I'm totally okay with this card, and I think it really is just a really good design. I have it in A tier.
Sure.
I think that the fact is it pushes you in a direction. It has a ton of weaknesses. To reiterate again, having weaknesses makes Commander way more interesting. If your Commander has no weaknesses, well, then that's probably just boring.
It's a better card, but we're just talking about what's more fun to play with against. Play with and against.
Play with against.
Right. Have a fun little game or build a cool deck and something you can be happy with for us. That's why this tier list is objective and perfect.
In our opinion. And our opinion is, of course, objective.
And absolute.
Yeah. Our opinion is objective. Is that something you can say?
That's a full sentence.
Okay. That is definitely, I agree. That is a full sentence.
All right, we got to make ourselves bigger.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, we're big. We're big again. But that is our video. That is our tier list. Special shout outs to all of our patrons. Love you all as much as we can without, of course, making you uncomfortable.
Check the Kickstarter link. I'm telling you, we want you.
We want the 110th. The 110th person to come in and support us. So you got to do it. You be that 110th person. Show us you care.
How cool would that be? We need you to support this. We're really proud of this project. It's already off to the races. We just want to make it as great and amazing as possible. The next goal we have is for the anti-Nitpicking Nerds deck. I want to play against that deck.
I want to be busy with the deck that is the cards that we don't like.
How much backlash will we get? It'd be amazing.
If Great Titan beats you down, oh my God. Ooh. Yeah, I'll put Demonic. We hate on Diabolic Twitter. I put that to find Grave Titan.
Yeah, Diabolic. It almost curves into it. It's so slow.
It's true.
Okay, tidbit about our lives.
No, we have to shout out TCG Player. TCGplayer.com is where you can go for all your Magic the Gathering needs. You go there, navigate through the website using our link in the description below. Buy the Magic cards you were going to buy anyway because obviously,
come on,
you were going to buy a Magic card.
Come on.
You buy them using our link, and all of a sudden you're supporting the nerds, and we get a kickback, and we see it, and we go, dang, thanks.
Zero extra money, 100% extra nerds support. For the tidbit, oh man, it's totally my turn.
It is.
Well, I guess so a year and 2 months ago, older fans of the channel might remember that we were super stoked for the release of Paper Mario the Origami King. We're like, we're going to play this whole game! And then we played 20% of the game and set it down and sort of got busy and then stored it away. And I just started playing it 2 days ago.
I just have the thing is, BZ, we played it together to start, so BZ kept trying to get me to play it. I'm like, I don't know, I just don't have the interest. Something drove me away from the game, so BZ went back to it, and he's playing it by himself.
It's great. Super fun. Super cute.
Yeah, it's probably...
Don't spoil it for me.
It's probably a classic, fun to play through once game.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it's probably you play through it once, it's a really fun time, and never pick it up again because it's probably not fun after that.
It's making me kind of want to play Color Splash because I never played that game either.
I don't want to.
I don't even know what system that game is for. Is that for the Switch?
I have no clue.
Who knows? Tell us in the comments, I guess.
I mean, the problem with going back and playing old Nintendo games is Nintendo never lowers their prices.
No, yeah, they got pricey video games.
You want to go buy Color Splash? It's probably still $40.
Probably is.
What, it came out in 2003?
No,
Obviously not.
No,
2000, probably more like 2015.
yeah, that's probably more accurate. But we're done.
Yeah, we are done. Peace out, Tribe Scout.